Week 14 SFL action continues this evening from our nation's capital as the DC Dragons host the Baltimore Vultures. Good evening, everybody, and I am Mike Daggs. Joining me in the booth is the one and only Gerald Smith. With us on stats, Justin Reside and Zach Halldorf. You are watching the Simulation Football League presented by APM Music on YouTube. Gerald, how you doing tonight?
Good. It's two teams that's heading to the playoffs. We couldn't ask for anything better.
Baltimore secured the number 2 seed heading into the playoffs. The outcome of this game, other than pride, really doesn't mean a whole lot for them. For DC, though, it makes all the difference in the world for their upcoming playoff future. If they win, they'll secure a first-round bye. A loss will likely send them to the wild card round. So the outcome of this game has a huge impact for them either way. Last season, DC had a home playoff game and lost in the wild card round to Tulsa. If they're able to win, they can skip right past that round and start planning for the quarterfinals. They've been strong all season. DC's only lost to Baltimore in week 1, and then each of their last 2 losses came on the final play of the game. Otherwise, they've been stellar. Tonight, they host the Vultures. What are the keys to victory for each of these teams?
Protecting the quarterback will be key for DC to win and get that first-round bye, as the Baltimore defense is third best in sacks coming into this week. Synergy has the fewest interceptions in the league, and that is the protection he has received this season. Baltimore seems to have little to no weakness heading into the playoffs with them locked in as the number 2 seed. If DC can keep their quarterbacks clean, their quarterback jersey clean, they stand the best chance to come out on top. If not, Baltimore could continue to roll into the playoffs.
Well, as Matt Wilson would say, there's only one way to find out, and that's on the field. So we will head down to the field where Baltimore is getting set to kick things off for us this evening. DC back to receive. Kick is away and back to the goal line. Returned straight up the gut by Gus Scott up to the 25, and that is where Sebastian Synergy will come out onto the field for the first time this evening, joined on the offense by halfback Kevin Say. Fullback is Chuck Steller. The wide receivers, you just saw Gus Scott. He's joined by Ronnie Shanahan, Mike Churchill, and Josh Gill. The tight ends, Lauren Percoco and Craig Westlake. Gerald, we'll have to see how long Kevin Say plays tonight. Usually when we call a DC game, he takes a snap or two and then gets hurt.
Yeah, I don't think the owner of DC is going to like us very much if Kevin Say leaves this game.
Well, Synergy avoids the first sack of the ball game just like that. Connects up with Ronnie Shanahan. You know, you made a point about Synergy needing to keep his jersey clean. He was able to do it there, but only because of some slick moves on his own.
Yeah, he's done like some stuff like that in the past, right? Where he can make some plays, especially when one of the games where he lost Mr. Say, and he was able to kind of put the team on his back and make some slick moves and find some open guys.
Synergy in the gun on first down. Quick pass down to the bottom, connecting up with Churchill. It's good for a gain of 6. Let's look at the starters on defense for Baltimore. Defensive lineman Joe Duncan, Al Walker, and Nate Brown, along with Sir Ron Yates IV. The linebackers, Frank Smith, Alvin Mack, and Devin King. The secondary is Enzo Bolt, Marvin Himes, Ben Stackenpaper, Elijah Warfield, Giovanni Bolt, and Troy Loshaw. Second down and 4 and a free play for DC. They get it out to Say, and Say gets the first down and more. Sure, this penalty will be declined.
And there's a couple of good things happen on that one there. There's a penalty, free play. Say ran his very first play, got the ball, and he's not laying on the turf.
he's still upright. Look at him walking around. Yeah. So far, he survived his first touch in the ball game. So, hey, that's something. First down and 10 from about midfield. Aerial coverage of today's game is provided by Daggs Drone Works, aerial photography and videography services for real estate, events, marketing, and more. Can learn more at dagsdroneworks.com. I hear the drone pilot is a good-looking dude, too.
He's just tall.
Wow. Synergy to throw. Short dump down is caught by Josh Gill. Brings up a second down and 6.
Yeah, and they're already in Baltimore territory right here, right, with a couple of good plays getting down there. So, and they are right on the edge of field goal range for their field goal kicker here. So, but this is a very good opening drive by Baltimore. It's what they very good drive for DC, might I add. this and this is what they're going to have to do, right? They're going to take advantage of every possession that they have.
Synergy able to connect once again, getting another first down. 5 plays so far in this drive, and they're inside the Baltimore 30. And yeah, I agree, Gerald. I mean, they're going to need to take advantage of every possession that they have. I mean, Baltimore, it's a high-powered team. They can score every time that they get the ball in their hands. So if you're going to keep up, you're going to have to take advantage of every possession that you can.
Yeah, and DC's trying to get that first-round bye, so I think they're going to come out with a lot more intensity and aggressiveness. While, I mean, Baltimore, they can kind of sit back and not get themselves into any kind of danger or hurt their players and such.
Synergy throws into coverage, and that one nearly picked off. Quadruple coverage in on the play, second down.
Yeah, that was just good coverage. I think finally Baltimore seemed to get a little bit of pressure, right? Pushing back the offensive line right into Synergy's lap there. Maybe forced him to throw a little bit sooner than what he wanted to. But Baltimore couldn't keep their hands on it, so it falls to the turf, and now we're at 2nd and 10.
Second down and 10. Kevin Say getting back involved. Spins past the first tackler. Spins past the second. Can't spin past the third. Finally brought down by Devin King after a nice gain. 3rd down and 5.
Yeah, those spins if your name isn't BDG Hollywood, those spins typically make me nervous.
Yeah.
I mean, but he did his best BDG impression there, doing a couple of spins, and that third spin was just, he spun himself into a tackle there. But it's the 3rd and very manageable with 5 yards to go.
3rd down and 5, low snap. Synergy pumps, throws over the middle into traffic again, and incomplete. Tried to hit Lauren Percoco, but she could not haul in the pass. It's going to be a 4th down, and Pautee on for the field goal.
Yeah, I think it looked like Percoco had that ball in her hands, but the defender behind her just knocked it right out. Now it's forcing a field goal here, and this is opportunities, especially, when you have your chances to get the, a first down or a big catch. I mean, you kind of got to hold those in there and take advantage of everything you can, especially against Baltimore.
Ponte's 25 of 28 on the season. This one from about 40 yards from the right hash. It's up. It's good officially from 39, and DC is on the board first. If you are new to the SFL, the Simulation Football League combines traditional sports, esports, and a role-playing game into one. Team strategies are being executed in real time by our simulations as real-life players compete on the virtual gridiron. For more information about the SFL, you can visit our website at simulationfl.net. The SFL, we put the fan in fantasy. Ponte's got the ball teed up and ready to kick it away to Baltimore so that they can get their first possession going. This kick, broke through the tackle. Gets up through the 35-yard line. A great return by Ivory Irvin. And that is where Baltimore will start off on offense tonight. Jack Wigmore, the quarterback. 73% completion percentage on the league so far. 26 touchdowns, 20 picks, is 3rd best in the league. He has been sacked the least, Gerald, only 7 times all season. And we are in week 14.
And it is pretty impressive given that they don't have any contracted offensive linemen.
Right.
It means their quarterback is efficient, gets the ball out quick, the receivers get themselves open. And another thing I might add about their receivers, it's amazing the ball distribution by Jack Wigmore. All of his pass catchers from his, tight end number 1 to all 3 wide receivers are within 6 catches of one another coming into this week.
Split backs in the backfield. Wigmore under center. Ball is handed off. And rumbling down the center. There he goes. It is T-Roy Gaines inside the 20. And the old fullback still got the wheels. Gerald gets them all the way down to the 18-yard line.
Yeah, if you turn back the clock for this kid here, he ain't a kid anymore. He would have had a little bit fresher legs on him and ran all the way for the touchdown. But look, his offensive lineman opened up a huge hole, and he didn't have much to do but do just a little. I don't even know if you can even call that a hurdle. That was just a step over because he's a big boy.
Yeah, there's not going to be much hurdling going on. Yeah, After that long run, he's on the bench now. He needs a break. 4 wide receivers and a tight end in the formation. Wigmore, quick pass over the middle, and just like that, another gain of 8. The starting offense for the Vultures, quarterback Jack Wigmore, halfback is Warren Murray. Believe it or not, it's not T-Roy Gaines, that's the fullback. Wide receivers are Ivory Irvin, Daley Holder, and Mac Chima. The tight ends, DJ Bandit, and number 83, a number that looks good on tight ends, Gerald, Lloyd Graham Jr.
Allegedly.
I don't like your attitude. High formation on second down. Ball is handed off and working his way up the middle of the field. There's Warren Murray, his first touch of the ball game. Sets him up with a first down and goal from the 3, a gain of 7.
Yeah, he was. It's again, credit to the offensive line there. You know, with the fullback. Look, and T-Roy Gaines is probably still on the sideline getting oxygen. So, yeah, they had a the backup in there, the backup halfback in there, Damon Morehouse, to be able to clear the way to create even a bigger hole for Mr. Warren Murray to run through. So, yeah, old man needs oxygen.
Did you see the camera just zoom in there on Lloyd Graham Jr.? I'm telling you, 83 looks good on tight ends. Wigmore to throw, gets it out to Warren Murray. Warren Murray crosses the goal line, touchdown Baltimore, and they take the lead. So both teams scoring on their opening possession. Difference being Baltimore is able to find the end zone.
Yeah, and that's what DC is going to have to correct whenever they get down in, Baltimore territory. They're going to have to close these drives. Similar to what Baltimore did to them here. And they did it both through the air and on the ground, right? T-Roy had that huge run right up the middle, decided, hey, I'm going to get some oxygen and let the young, let's say youngster. I don't think Warren Murray's any younger than he, but let the guy with the fresh legs take it in from there.
Yeah, absolutely. Warren Murray actually has been around for 10 seasons now. This is his second season on Baltimore. T-Roy Gaines, 9 seasons in the league, all of which have been with Baltimore. The extra point is up and good. Baltimore out in front, 7-3 over the Dragons. The SFL network is coming to the ESTV Plus app. 24/7 SFL programming will include content created by the community, the SFL's greatest games from the archives, exclusive network content, and live SFL regular season games. You can download the ESTV Plus app on your Android or iPhone. You can also get it on your TV through Roku, Amazon Fire, Vizio, and more. The SFL Network, where SFL creators come together. Another nice kick return, this time brought up to the 26-yard line. That is where DC will come back out onto the field. 9 plays, 62 yards they went last time, and then kicked a 39-yard field goal. Baltimore responding with a 5-play, 65-yard drive, ending in a touchdown. So both teams off to a strong start so far. See what DC can do on this one. Synergy to throw. Short pass over the middle, and that one's easily taken away. He's not down yet. Well, now he is. But pass was picked off by Troy Loshaw, the strong safety. And that's going to give Baltimore incredible starting field position, Gerald, and not what the Dragons needed. 7 picks on the season now for Loshaw.
No, and I'm not even sure if Ronnie Shanahan even saw the ball. I think he may have saw a lady kind of threw up his hands, and he just I don't know if it was Synergy put a little bit too much zip on it or what, or if he didn't really see it, but it was kind of out in front of him. It was almost just pitch and catch for the DB there. But these are situations that they cannot put themselves in against a team like Baltimore, right? I mean they're running, working for that first round bye, and something like this is nothing that is going to help him at all.
Right. Oh, Wigmore under pressure. See, Gerald, that's why he can't get sacks. He saw the pressure right in his face, and he's able to throw the ball away at the last second, avoiding the sack. Incomplete, second down. And
he was able to slide to his right just a tad bit too, just to be able to get himself an extra second or so to be able to just somehow throw that ball away as he was being hit.
3 receiver set on second down. Ball is handed off once again to T-Roy Gaines. Surges forward for a gain of 4. The starting defense for the DC Dragons on the defensive line, Saeed Gore, John Gary, Jose Fuentes. The linebackers, Declan O'Rourke, Riley Cuse, and Nathaniel Diggs. The corners, are John DeSantis, Peanut Say, and Daryl Bullock. The safeties, Jorge Torres and Josh Vasquez, both in their first season with the Dragons. Wigmore, quick pass over the middle. That one's complete. Daly Holder with the catch, getting the first down at the DC 24.
Yeah, if you're going to play man coverage against Baltimore, you to make sure you kind of hold them there at the line, right? Kind of bump them a little bit, right? He gave him a little bit of a bump, but Daly Holder had to slant. He couldn't get a good bump on him there, but he was able to get free, and Wigmore was able to get it out quick. And that's what Baltimore does, man. Their quarterback just gets the ball out super duper quick.
Quick pass out to the right-hand side this time. Oh, a spin move by Murray, and he's able to keep churning his legs. I thought he got the first down, but they're going to give him 9.9 yards on the play, second down and inches.
Yeah, we know the refs just give us questionable spots each and every week, and I'm just not a huge fan. Typically because of there's nothing like a goal line, yard line. That's a touchdown. So. Yeah, it's got themselves here in a second and extremely short. I mean, that's the way. That's first down efficiency is excellent.
Yeah. Oh, great play by the defense. Saeed Gore getting into the backfield immediately, wrapping him up and tackling him. Goes from second and inches to 3rd and 4.
He moved the right side of that line so far into the backfield and he literally pushed the offensive lineman right back into the running back and just came right off and just grabbed running back for tackle for loss.
3 receiver set on 3rd and 4. Short drop by Wigmore, and he's able to do it every single time, Gerald. It's ridiculous. Mac Chima with the catch. I mean, I think part of the success might be that short drop. It's not even a 3-step drop. He just takes one hop back from the line and then quick throw.
Well, and what Baltimore typically does like that, right? They attack that slot corner. The slot corner is usually not quite as skilled. He's usually a young lad playing that side there. And when they attack that side and they attack that nickel corner guy, it just ends up being well because they love the matchup in those situations.
Warren Murray with a gain of 3 on the right-hand side of the set. Nathaniel Diggs with the tackle. Second down and goal from the 4. Wigmore struts back to the line. Murray on the left, Gaines on the right. In the backfield, handed off to Gaines. Gaines able to surge forward for 2. Got half of what he needed. 3rd down and goal. Gerald, wouldn't it just kill you if they get 2 yards, but it's 4th and goal from the goal line?
Yes, considering everything else that's happened today, right? I mean, it's just going to be like the nail in the coffin for me. So. But I mean, on that last play, it was very good closing down on there by Peanut Say.
Salty free play. It's not going to matter. Murray's into the end zone for the touchdown, and Baltimore is able to take a 2-score lead with 2:49 to go in quarter number 1.
Yeah, it was a little bit too easy there, right? I mean, with the the offsides, it would have gave them another free play anyway. They could have done anything with that, but they didn't even need free play or even an extra play, right? I mean, it's a gargantuan size hole. How many snowball trucks we could have fit through that?
Well, at least one. I mean, a truck is somewhat large, but
yeah, but it's like, I don't know, man. I'm still mind-boggled how Baltimore is able to create these situations on, especially a very talented defensive line in DC.
The Shark himself on for the extra point. Shark Tarkington. Extra point is up. It is good. Baltimore 14, DC 3. So DC's opening drive didn't look too bad. They were able to get down in field goal range anyway and get some points on the board. 9-play drive. Their second drive, Gerald, 1 play straight to the defense, setting up Baltimore in great starting field position. They only needed to go 39 yards to find the end zone.
And a surprising part of DC's drives thus far, I do believe we've only had 2 plays to Kevin Say, who is one of their more electric players.
Well, they've won without him. Maybe they're trying a new strategy of just not using him. They knew that we were here and figured that we were probably going to.
I think that's exactly it. Well, we might as well game plan to not have him in the game because these guys are here and they're going to ruin it.
They're
so
going to curse him again. So let's just assume he's not there. See, look at this synergy out on the in the shotgun. No Kevin Say to be found. 6 on the line for Baltimore. Linebackers dropping back. Synergy throws over the middle, and that one is caught. Oh, yeah, Kevin Say is on the field. You're right. He was just lined up down at the bottom.
They're trying to disguise it as if, like the broadcasters curse. Can't quite see him, so we can't curse him. But that's a very, very good route run there. But by Josh Gill being able to find the open space right over the middle. And I like the way Synergy's kind of sliding in the pocket so far, right? So he's doing really good, and the offensive line is doing really good of keeping himself clean, right? Not getting him into any kind of stressful situations in the backfield there.
Synergy gets it out to Say. Oh, Say with a couple of blockers out in front. 76 didn't quite do his job, but Say was able to get a nice gain on the play. Gain of 7, sets up a second down and 3 from the 49-yard line.
I mean, I know it's football, man, but you got to have those offensive linemen not throw those no-hitters like that, right?
Yeah.
I mean, that's a baseball term, but you need those offensive linemen to be able to pick up blocks. A no-hitter just is not helping your teammate out at all.
Ezekiel Rubin, the right tackle, he's out there. Could have made a block, made a business decision or something. Didn't do it. No, it's not Lauren Percoco. That was Craig Westlake, the rookie tight end, second-round pick from Albuquerque. Got his hands on the ball, and it fell to the turf. If it hits you in the hands, you got to catch those, Gerald.
He's got to catch it. And you know what? Maybe he has the wrong numbers. He should have had 83 instead of 87.
If he had 83.
It's
neither here nor there.
No, it's not. Yeah. You got to catch that one there.
Synergy's quarterback rating still under 50 at the moment due to the pick mainly. 2 receiver set on 3rd down and 3. Synergy under pressure, and down he goes. The defensive line of Baltimore, I think basically all 4 of them got there, Gerald. They are intense. They've been doing it all season.
And if you watch this here, right, they ran a twist. I can't even speak. They ran a twist, right, with Al Walker right off the left side of that defensive line, and I think Synergy was expecting him to have a free rush so he could build the pocket just a little bit too soon. And luckily, to DC's credit, they picked up Al Walker, but Sir Ron Yates was coming off the edge and sacked him.
38 sacks on the season now 39 sacks on the season for this Baltimore defense. That's 3rd best in the league, as you mentioned in your intro, Gerald. Almost all of those sacks, except for 4.5, have come from the defensive line. And Sir Ron Yates, the 4th, 2nd best in the league, with 11 coming into the game. Probably got credited a half a sack on that play. So his impressive season continues.
Al Walker should get an assist on that because I think he assisted that happening.
Ball is handed off to T-Roy Gaines. He will gain nothing. He gets back to the line. 2nd down.
Yeah, and that's a good first down start for DC defensively here, right? To keep him in a 2nd and long. That way hopefully they can force a 3rd and long and put a little bit of pressure on Jack Wigmore to make a play.
4 receiver set brings out 3 down linemen for the Dragons. Pressure coming. Still Wigmore able to avoid the sack, and he completes the pass.
They couldn't have asked for any better pass rush from the 3 defenders they had there. But given any quarterback time like that, he's going to find somebody open. And
Wigmore's a magician, man. Yeah. He's like Houdini. He had 2 defenders around him. He's able to still get out of that sack. Not only did he get out of the sack, most quarterbacks, I think, at that point would just throw the ball away. Like, play's over. The pressure's still right behind me. No, Wigmore's able to find the open target, get the first down, and more. Warren Murray gets another first down, spins past 2 tacklers, and gets up to midfield. That is how the first quarter will come to a close. So it's been all Baltimore so far, Gerald.
Yeah, they've been clicking. They haven't done anything wrong on offense or defense thus far. They're playing their game. And I don't know if DC's come out a little bit flat here because of because of what they have on the line.
Could be. 14 for Baltimore, 3 for DC. That's the end of the first quarter. You're watching the Simulation Football League presented by APM Music on YouTube. Get the second quarter underway. I'm Mike Daggs. Next to me, Gerald Smith, Justin Reside, and Zach Haldorf with us on Stats. Cameron Irvine back at SFL HQ doing the producing for us. You know, you can see the yardage right there. Baltimore nearly double, and they have possession of the football. Wigmore throws on the run, and that one's one that DC's going to look back at, Gerald. They would have definitely benefited from getting that pick.
Yeah, they had the pressure, they had the coverage, and they forced Wigmore to throw a ball on the run. It was way into coverage. But God, man, they just have to be able to take advantage of those plays, because plays like that will turn the game around. I mean, they're down 11 right now. They're down 2 scores, and that was an opportunity to kind of flip it around and get you within a score.
Wigmore to Murray, kind of floats that one, gives the defense time to get there. Doesn't matter. Spins past everybody and to the house. Touchdown, Vultures.
He did a couple of spin moves, caused one complete to miss, one to kind of just bounce off of him, and then you're going to see that the defender had the angle, but he turned on, like he just, put it in the 6th gear.
This is ridiculous.
And he just sped away. It's like right here.
3 spins.
Look, the defender has the angle, and he just outruns him.
Josh Vasquez
Holy cow.
could have made that tackle, but one number 21 was a little bit faster than the other 21. Warren Murray able to get into the end zone for the touchdown, and this one's getting out of hand a little early.
Yeah, DC's got to answer with something on either side of the ball.
5 plays, 76 yards, resulting in a touchdown. Low snap. Near that one should have been blocked. But that's the Shark out there. He doesn't miss. Extra point is up and good. Baltimore 21, DC 3. The weekly SFL contest is officially up and running. Do you think you can draft the best team each week while staying under the salary cap? Or maybe you just want to enhance your SFL experience. It's free to play, no season-long commitment, and a new contest opens every week on Tuesday night. Join now and show off your fantasy skills to the rest of the league. Contact Jack Wall, Steven Hacker, or Hunter Norwood to join today. So DC's got to respond on this drive before things get out of hand. Gus Scott brings it up to the 22-yard line. But I think anything less than a touchdown here, Gerald, is not acceptable.
No, and they have to stop depriving us from Kevin Say, because I think that's going to be the key to actually getting them back in the game. Because if they don't, it's going to end up being a long game if it keeps going the way it's going right now.
Kevin Say with 1 rushing attempt on the day for 15 yards. I mean, it went well. Why not go back to it? But they're not going to yet. They'll get him back involved in the passing game. He had 12 yards. Adds 3 onto it now, so 3 receptions for 15 yards. So we see the quarterback comparison, Gerald. That comparison alone explains the difference in this ball game.
Yeah, because Wigmore's being a lot more efficient, right? I mean, the one interception there by Synergy was, I just think it was a bad throw, a little bit too much zip on it. But I mean, they just got to start executing. They got to they have to come away with points.
And here's the second handoff to Kevin Say, and this is why we should be seeing him crossing midfield and getting all the way down to the Baltimore 45-yard line. So 2 runs, and both of them are big. That one was the biggest yet. Kevin Say with a huge gain.
I mean, look, he has 45 yards on 2 carries equivalent. That was a 30-yard run. I mean, look, and he had good blocking around the edge. I mean, you get that man the ball, he's going to make plays, especially in the rushing game. So let's DC can do that and kind of sort of just geared kind of right through him up to this point, right? You're not out of it. You still have a lot of time. You have, nearly 3 full quarters left.
4 receivers set on first down. Synergy to throw. Wide open target up top. That's Lauren for Coco. She breaks a tackle inside the 20, inside the 10, and tackled at the 8-yard line. Finally brought down by Troy Loshaw, but # throw it to the tight end because it works.
Yeah, because look, and that's where Baltimore is running man coverage here, and I don't care how good a linebacker you are. It's extremely difficult to cover a tight end in this league, and she was able to get separation and grab it and then break a tackle and then get them inside the 10.
Lauren Percoco with over 500 yards receiving on the season now. She's got 4 touchdowns too, Gerald, which actually leads the team in receiving touchdowns out of any receiving target. So keep an eye on her down here in the red zone. 1st and goal from the 8. Synergy to throw, gets it back to Percoco. She'll gain 6. 2nd down and goal.
Great route, great pass. You know, if Synergy would have just let her a little bit and not caused her to kind of do a pirouette right there, I think she can pick up those other 2 yards and drag a defender in the end zone.
Ball is handed off to Say. Say gets in. He crosses the goal line. Touchdown, Baltimore. And that's the kind of drive that they needed, Gerald. They worked their way down the field. Good use of the run and the pass, and it ends in 6.
Right, and it started out kind of electric right there with Kevin Say, right, getting that 30-yard run, and then it lit a fire under the offense, and they ended it with him. So, you know, and it got him right back in the game. So now, you know, pinning the extra point, right, it can be down 11 points. It's down a 2-score game right now.
Extra point try coming up. Potty on for the kick. Bruce Leroy to hold. Good snap, good hold. Kick is up. Kick is good. 21-10. So it looked like it was getting out of hand, but like you said, Gerald, now it's a 2-score game. But now it falls on DC's defense. They haven't been able to stop Baltimore yet. 3 drives, 3 scores, all of which were touchdowns.
Yeah, they got to tighten up. And one way they are going to, if they can get pressure, you know, on the quarterback, I think they should be, pretty fine going forward. But if they can, I mean, they got to be able to. It's all timing and rhythm that Baltimore does it, especially in the passing game, right? It's all timing and rhythm. If they can disrupt that, they can get themselves in a better situation to make plays.
On Baltimore's last drive, they started at the 24-yard line. This time they're starting at the 25. They went 5 plays, 76 yards, and ended in a touchdown, 49-yard passing touchdown, in fact. It was only 1 minute and 24 seconds to score the last touchdown. See what they can do here. Wigmore in the gun. Quick pass over the middle into coverage, and DC's got an opportunity and drops it. Pass is incomplete, and they've got to capitalize on situations like that. They don't come often.
And they batted it around. I don't know if they just couldn't decide who wanted it or not, but they knocked it around so much. And this is like the real obvious second opportunity they had to pick off a pass and get a little of that momentum back. And they haven't been able to reel it in.
Wigmore in the gun now on 2nd down. Baltimore sending 6 into pressure, and this time they're able to connect with Lloyd Graham Jr., the tight end, setting up a 3rd down and 2. And these are the sorts of setups that Baltimore is able to convert darn near every time.
Oh yeah, because they thrive in these short yardage situations like this because their playbook is wide open, and they get the ball off so quick in a passing situation, and they've been running ridiculously effective in the run game.
They're going to hand it off to Warren Murray, and he falls across the line to gain. 1st down and 10 from the 36.
Yeah, about time the defender met him, he was already past the line, and he just had to drag him to the ground. But not giving up chunk yardage right yet so far, but hopefully they're noticing something, 3 times seeing this offense out there on the field that, DC might be able to pick up on some of the tendencies and try to, get their defensive scheme, geared toward slowing them down.
Murray takes the handoff and met in the backfield immediately. A hard-hitting tackle by Riley Cuse. Loss of 1 on the play, 2nd down.
The way he navigated, that offensive line getting through there was nothing short of amazing. There was a little bitty sliver of a hole that he was able to slide through and get that tackle for loss.
2nd down and 11. Wigmore up top, wide open out route. Hauled in by Ivory Irvin.
And this situation here for DC puts them in a better situation defensively against Baltimore, probably more than what they've had all night thus far, with a third and medium to long situation here. If they can generate pressure right here, and they are coming out in man coverage, so if they can, hold and stick to these wide receivers, I think it favors DC here.
Well, Baltimore's going to go deep, past the defender, all the way down to the 24. And that's definitely not what DC needed. Mac Chima able to get past the first line, and there was nobody behind him.
Yeah, he just ran that fade route, and he didn't get any bump on him. About time, the defender saw what was going on in DeSantis. He was already 5 yards behind him. I do believe that DeSantis on that particular route was expecting an all slants to come in, and he would have been ready and all over it, but he just ran the fade route on him.
Wigmore, another quick pass, and the linebacker was right in the way. Didn't even see the pass coming. Diggs could have swatted that one down, but it was just too quick.
It ran right across it. He ran right across the route. If he would have stopped and had some recognition, and that's what happens whenever the offense is running just as efficiently as they are, right? You're just trying to stick to your man and kind of, slow them down, and you're not really focused on actually what's going on around you. Just the man you're covering, and they're just not able to keep up at this moment.
Warren Murray with the handoff, and he breaks through tackle after tackle after tackle. First down and goal from the 4. Baltimore continues to just slowly, methodically work their way down the field, little bits at a time. Like you said, there hasn't been many big chunk plays. T-Roy Gaines had a 47-yard run, but otherwise, the next longest play was that Mac Chima catch for 36. There's just been a lot of little plays getting them down the field.
And on that last run there, man, the right side of that defense kind of collapsed the left side of that offensive line, and they got penetration, but somehow their offensive line held their blocks.
And that run all the way down to the 1 yard line, second down and goal after a gain of 3.
Yeah, they've got to force a field goal here just to put themselves in a situation where, they feel like they have a shot. Like I said, it's kind of hard even saying that at half, but the way Baltimore is moving the ball right now, they just look unstoppable.
Wigmore hands it off to Murray. Murray, I thought he was going to waltz right into the end zone, Gerald, but the way they just zoomed in on Josh Vasquez, I had a heart attack. But 21 for the Dragons, stopping 21 for the Vultures. Not letting them in. Third down and goal.
I don't know if he was looking for the snowball truck to lead the way, but Murray looked like he was a little bit sluggish. I was like, where's that truck?
T-Roy Gaines gets it done, though. Touchdown, Baltimore. They cannot be stopped.
And when we're talking about a truck, you give it to the truck and just let him waltz right in there. Because he walked in untouched. Everyone held their blocks. And I don't know why they were trying to tackle him, man, after he crossed him. They try to knock the ball out or something like that. But it's another super ridiculously efficient Baltimore drive.
Extra point by Shark Tarkington will put them back up by 18. Once again, extending it to a 3-score ball game. 4 minutes, 19 seconds to go here in the first half. The extra point is up and good. It's been all Baltimore so far. 258 yards for Baltimore compared to only 155 for DC.
Yeah, when DC's having a punt and kind of give the ball back to to their opponent, it kind of it's going to put them in a situation, right? And the turnover in their own territory, that they gave to Baltimore, I think it's got a little has them in a situation where I think they just felt a little bit shell shocked getting that stuff into Baltimore, going down and scoring on that turnover there, but. They've got to turn this around. They've got to score touchdowns because as of right now, the defense they're leaking. So they got to stop the leaking, and the offense has just got to pick up, more than they're slacking here and just put up points and hope that the defense is going to fix whatever issues they're having scheme wise.
First down and 10 from the DC 19-yard line. We'll see what they can do here. DC started with the football. Baltimore will get the ball to start the second half. So They definitely want to get the scoring going. Lauren Percoco with an 8-yard gain.
Yeah, and if you look at the statistics of this game, it's not like, DC's doing anything terrible, like offensively, right? I mean, they're moving the ball and they're doing stuff. They just had that one turnover, but I mean, they just have to, not punt. They have to go down there and get points.
2 tight ends to the left side of the formation. That's where they'll run Kevin Say. Say able to get past the line to gain. Gets a first down up to the 33. Still 3.5 minutes to go in the first half, Gerald. They could, theoretically use up the rest of the clock here on this drive. We cited on the last drive too. They really need to get a touchdown out of this one.
Yeah, and I would have liked to seen, Kevin Say take a spin move on to the outside in that last play. Everybody was, had their momentum going toward the inside, and he may have had a lot more room to run to the outside there.
Say met in the backfield this time by Devin King, tackled for a loss on the play. The halfback comparison, Gerald, they're going to compare Kevin Say to T. Roy Gaines. 37 yards for Say, 55 for Gaines, both with a touchdown. But let's not forget Warren Murray. He's been having a pretty decent game as well. Only 25 yards on the ground, but 76 through the air. He's got 3 all-purpose touchdowns already and over 100 yards. Synergy on the deep drop. Throws deep down the middle and overthrows his target. 3rd down.
Yeah, I think that was just a shot play. He took his spot, his 7-step drop, and just took a shot. I mean, he was hoping he had something there, but I don't, he obviously didn't. But taking a shot to see what you had, especially on a 2nd and long, I would like to see him pick up like half of what he needed, right?
Yeah.
Run a little bit of shorter route, especially the struggles that they've had. But I mean, and now they got to go the full distance of it.
5 wide on 3rd down. Synergy. Looks, he's got a man, but it's tipped and incomplete. He was trying to hit Churchill again. And it was well defended by Ben Stackenpaper. 4th down.
If he would have put a little bit more air under it, I think he would have had him.
Yeah. Churchill had a step on him.
Right. He just, and I think he may have waited a little bit too long to get it to him too. But he didn't have enough air on it, and the defender was able to jump up and just bat it away.
The SFL produces over 400 live events each year, but don't miss community content creators and their creations. Tuesday, October 11th, join Dave Axis and the Axis Live crew as the show returns for a special Season 19 playoff preview show. To check out archive versions of community shows, visit simulationfl.net and click the logo of your favorite form of SFL entertainment on our homepage. Punt is away, taken at the 38, spins and gets up to the 42-yard line. That's where Baltimore is going to get back on the field on offense. Wigmore has been very efficient, 12 of 16, 178 yards. He's got 2 passing touchdowns. His quarterback rating is 150 plus. They have every opportunity in the world, Gerald, to chew up the rest of this first half, get another touchdown, and get the ball back to start half number 2.
Yeah, and I don't expect nothing less from Baltimore than trying to just go up, to get 35 points before half.
Yeah, they don't know anything about just running the clock out. They just want to put up points in buckets. T. Roy Gaines gets another carry, gets 7 on the play.
I mean, I know T. Roy Gaines had that long run early on in the game, right? A 47-yard run. And he's got, 62, 63 yards on the ground, but he's still, even with having that long run, he's still been pretty efficient every time he's got the ball.
2-minute warning here in D.C. Baltimore, the 18-point lead and possession of the football. They're in control of this one. 10 wins on the season, Gerald. They want that 11th win. Go 11-1. Their only loss so far to Minnesota. Last season, they went 10-2, still went on to the championship and won it back-to-back championship seasons. And a flag on the play. On 2nd down and 3, DC's going to give them a free first down, and that is definitely not what the doctor ordered.
No, and especially in a situation where, they don't need your free yards, and you're giving them yards. I mean that's not, you got to be a little more disciplined there, right? I know you're trying to get penetration and everything else, but at this point, right, with the time given that you have here, left in this first half. I mean, look, man, just try and work on slowing them down, because it seems like DC doesn't know what to focus on or even stop, given any particular, offensive formation from Baltimore right now.
Everything seems to be going right for the Vultures, except for that run. Warren Murray met in the backfield, brought down by Nathaniel Diggs, and now Jose Fuentes is down.
Like they did not need this on the defensive side of the ball. And
I don't know, Fuentes pancaked his blocker. And
I don't know. Maybe he got the wind knocked out of him. Maybe need him in the gut or something while going down. I don't know.
We're not going to find out.
Yeah, because,
anytime we get an injury update, we get a quarterback comparison at the same time. We'll never know.
It's a shame.
We'll start Fuentes' watch, see when he comes back. Hopefully he can return to the ball game. T-Roy Gaines takes advantage of the slightly less solidified front four and rumbles forward for a nice gain. Gets some of the yards they need back. Gerald still 3rd and long, 8 yards to go.
When the last time you seen a fullback have 9.7 yards of carry, outrunning his halfback counterpart?
Not only that, he's approaching the 100-yard mark. Oh, the pass on the left sideline, the jumping catch made and into the end zone. Touchdown, Ivory Irvin. A one-on-one situation, Gerald, and Ivory Irvin takes advantage of that.
Yeah, it was a jump ball 50-50. Look, and that's what Jack Wigmore does, right? He trusts his guys to go up and get it. And it was a 50-50 ball, and he expected his guy to just out-jump. And I'm not exactly sure what Peanuts say was that he looked like from that angle, he looked like he was a little bit offline.
Yeah.
Of even trying to get the pick. He should have been, maybe better off of trying to lay the hit to break the pass up at this point, right? It's just, and now they're just down. It's just, I don't know, 4 scores.
Last week when
3 scores.
Yeah. Last week when Baltimore hosted Tulsa, Ivory Irvin had 5 receptions for 110 yards and a touchdown. That is touchdown number 9 on the season for Irvin, top 10 in the league in receiving touchdowns, along with fellow wide receiver Mac Chima. When you have 2 receivers that are top 10, heck, Chima's top 5 in receptions or in receiving touchdowns. That bodes well for your team in scoring. Coming into the game, T-Roy Gaines had just shy of 100 carries, 368 yards, and 5 touchdowns. So far today, he's already at 68 yards on the ground, due in large part to that 48-yard long, but he's got another touchdown on the day. And, not only is he leading his team in rushing yards right now, Gerald, he's leading this whole game in rushing yards.
Right, and it seems like, DC just doesn't have an answer for anything, right? When Baltimore has 5 possessions and 5 touchdowns, something is going wrong in that DC defense.
And things aren't going right on offense either. We saw a couple of nice runs from Kevin Say to get the game started, but he's been well bottled up since then. That one went for a loss. Al Walker with the tackle.
Yeah, because DC, I believe, has lost 2 games in a row. If they lose this one, it'll be 3 games in a row. Going into the playoffs, right? I just don't know what they have going on, and they've got to get something corrected.
Out route down to the bottom is caught, and able to gain half of it. Hey, Gerald, look at that. We have an update on the injury. Jose Fuentes with a pinched nerve. He may return soon.
Pinch nerve, man. They just need to go in there and cut that thing out and put him back in. Unpinch it.
Little shot of Novocaine.
Right.
Hey, listen, pain's part of the game. Get back out there, Fuentes.
Shoot him in the neck.
Well, that sounds a little bit more violent than I was thinking, but
with a bit of his shoulder.
It's not like an injured horse. We're not going to put him down. Synergy over the middle. That one complete. They needed that, and the timeout is called by DC.
Yeah, and now look, and that's about 20 yards on that pass there, right? It's something that they really needed, that they've been needing, right? Especially in the last couple of drives. If you can string together a couple like that, a couple of 20-yard pass plays. I think it puts you in a very good situation to come away with three. I don't think 3 does you much of any good at all. I think you need 7 at this point because you're just not stopping Baltimore for doing what he needs to do. But you just got to get the yardage and get down there and try and get some points before half.
Synergy over the middle. He connected back up with Craig Westlake. Or was that Lauren Percoco?
It's Lauren Percoco.
It might have been Percoco. 47 and 87. Sure.
Timeout.
Josh Gill with the catch. Gerald Smith with the timeout. 2nd down and 5. 1 timeout remaining for DC. They get a 2nd and 5 from the Baltimore 39. 19 seconds to go. So still outside of field goal range. 1 more timeout. See what they can do.
I think the league needs to hold like a time management class for the coaches all across the league because a lot of us like to have terrible time management.
It's an acquired skill that we haven't quite acquired.
Right.
Short drop for Synergy and a quick pass. That one right into the hands of the defense. Picked off by Elijah Warfield. And, nothing going DC's way today.
Yeah, I'm not mad at that there, right? Because they know they had 1 timeout and the seconds are waning down in the first half. You take a shot, it doesn't work. You give them the ball back and relatively deep in their own territory. So I think I'm okay with it. But I guess the downside of this is when you have electric backs back there like T. Roy Gaines and Warren Murray, it's something to worry about, especially when your defense has kind of been it's been leaking a little bit.
I'd say they're leaking like the hole in the side of the Titanic was leaking, Gerald. No offense to DC.
You chew enough bubble gum and you stick it on the hole, it'll
right in there.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah, flex tape.
Flex.
They need flex tape.
Where's Billy Mays when you need him?
Well, Billy Mays didn't sell flex tape. Billy Mays was OxyClean.
Flex.
It's a different guy. It's not the same guy. Halftime, Gerald. Focus. Vultures up 35-10 over the Dragons here at the half. As we see the first half stats and highlights. Gerald, your thoughts so far?
DC's defense has been, leaking heavily, right? They haven't been able to slow down Baltimore at all. And it's putting the DC offense in a ridiculous, situation where, they're having to score points each and every drive. And the way Baltimore's defense is playing, they've been preventing, the DC offense from doing so. So, it's going to have to start with the DC defense, trying to correct some things at half and make some adjustments to be able to slow down the Baltimore offense, because you can't allow a team to score on a touchdown at that every single possession of a game. So, it starts right there, and they come out in half, and we'll see how, what kind of adjustments they make. Right, they're going to get, hopefully they're going to get their, defender back right up in the middle of their only contract defensive tackle. Right, he's going to be really important to supplying pressure on Wigmore if Baltimore continues to want to throw the ball
and stopping the run. 5 plays, 66 yards on their opening drive. 9 plays, 41 yards. 5 plays, 76 yards. 11 plays, 76 yards. And another 5-play, 53-yard drive. Touchdown, 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 touchdown for DC. It's been nothing but touchdowns so far for them all game. Phil Swift, by the way, is the spokesman for Flex Seal. Billy Mays did the OxyClean and Orange Clean later on. Then he tragically passed away. Billy Mays is no longer with us.
Billy Mays is an infomercial legend. I'll give him everything. He can sell pots and pans if he wants.
Well, of course. Anybody can sell.
What's that copper steel? The copper pan that's complete garbage that I bought.
So you just believe whatever they tell you on the television?
Look, I can totally Photoshop Billy Mays into the other guy's stuff. The Flex Seal. I'm gonna put a screen in your P-row, and we're gonna fill it with, we're gonna spray it with Flex Seal, and you're never gonna sink.
If you get swamp water on your clothes, you can clean it with OxyClean. Just say it.
No. You just
can't.
No. You just throw it away. You just throw it away.
Oh, well, all right. Well, anyway, back for half number 2. The wheels are already starting to fall off the wagon here. You could just reattach them with flex tape. All right, I'm done.
Make sure you clean it with OxyClean first.
That's right. You don't want a dirty wagon.
Yeah, man. Give Billy Mays his credit, man.
Baltimore. We'll start back off on offense. DC has been unable to stop them this entire game. We'll see if the Dragons defense is able to do anything with it here. The first half of action, Baltimore's Jack Wigmore, 13-17, 222 yards, 3 passing touchdowns. He's only had 4 incompletions all ball game. He's just been electric. There's the 5th incompletion, but Gerald, we've seen that multiple times. These incompletions that he's had have gone right into the hands of the Dragons defenders. They can't come away with a pick. They desperately need those.
So, and if you're in a situation like that, I mean, if you take those, right, and you reduce that's 3 potential picks that I think they should have had easily, and you take those away, that's 3 touchdown drives by Baltimore. It gives you a better opportunity in Baltimore territory. This could be a different ball game had they caught those.
Yeah, 100% it would be. 2 receivers out to the right. Wigmore goes straight over the middle and gets the first down. They just make it look so easy.
Now we got our second monitor. I think the linebacker and Lloyd Graham Jr. were having a conversation about something because they just stopped and looked at each other like, hey man, what's up? What's happening? And he just had his back turned while the opposing wide receiver just caught the ball almost right out of his back pocket.
Yeah, I caught that on the replay. Right, Riley Cuse just kind of holding his arm out to Lloyd Graham Jr. like, how's it going, man? You guys are doing pretty good so far.
Yeah, man, like, slow down. Could you stop it?
Could you guys take a break? Wigmore says, nope. Oh, a hard hit, able to jar the ball loose. Mac Chima, the intended target. Great play by John DeSantis.
I tell you what, I know you was trying to say ball, but you kind of said bar. Look like he brought a big bar and just hit him in the chest with it and knocked the ball out there.
It's actually Josh Vasquez with the hit.
Dude, he put his shoulder right in the chest.
Yeah, DeSantis in on the coverage, but Vasquez coming over from the safety position, absolutely leveling Chima. And that's the sort of plays they're going to need going forward.
Right. I think Chima says, "Yeah, Jack, don't call that route for me again. That didn't feel so great."
Oh, that kind of hurt.
We have a championship we're trying to win. I need to stay safe.
Wigmore floats a short one over the middle. He's able to hit Lloyd Graham Jr. 246 yards now on the day for Wigmore.
And that was a 2nd and 10 play, and they made it look so easy to pick up. Like it's and it's a lot of man coverages by DC, right? And there are a lot of hand checking and everything right there. So if they just got to hold those wide receivers, they maybe got to bump them a little bit more, to get themselves in a better situation to throw the timing off. It's all timing right now. It's all rhythm.
Quick handoff to T-Roy Gaines. We'll put him over 70 yards now on the day. 2nd down and 7 after the 3-yard gain. And Baltimore making good use of the opening possession of the second half, already crossing midfield. Looking to stay perfect on the day. 5 drives, 5 touchdowns. Getting this one out to Warren Murray. Murray spins and is not able to get the first down. Well defended by Jorge Torres.
Yeah, so the cornerback on that side right there, it looked like Bullock got a nice bump off the receiver, knocked him to the ground, threw a little bit of the timing off. They picked up 8 yards right there by, on Murray on a swing out pass, but it was very good coverage.
And easy first down and more. Warren Murray. Nobody was even around him, Gerald. He's just able to walk forward to get to the 25, keep the drive alive.
It's almost as if Baltimore is in the defensive huddle and just knows what to call and at any given play on every down, no matter the distance or how far. That's what it's looking like. It's looked like they've schemed in a way offensively that it just seems like that they're just unstoppable.
Over 100 yards for Murray. Only 21 of them have been rushing yards. All of his rushes have been small, averaging less than 2 yards per carry. But one more receiving yard will put him over that 100-yard mark It won't be on this play. They hit Mac Chima, who was also wide open up top. As Wigmore hits 277 yards compared to Synergy's 168, 3 touchdowns to 2 picks. The comparison is the opposite.
Yeah, and if you look at the most of Baltimore's yardage during the passing game, it's not even deep routes. I mean, they had a deep pass play earlier, earlier in the first half, but most of the stuff is about a 5-yard, turns into 10 and 12.
And here comes 100 yards plus receiving for Warren Murray. Spins just for show and gets into the end zone for the touchdown. 6 drives, 6 touchdowns. Baltimore is perfect on the day.
Ivory Irvin laid out a man on the end. You see him on the ground, and it's like, yep. I was very surprised once I seen Warren Murray get that ball, and it just jumped off, and he was running, and there's a ton of space. And there was, and then you see a defender on the ground. You really don't see wide receivers pancake people.
No, not usually. But the Baltimore receivers aren't just any receivers. Ivory Irvin taking Jorge Torres and just throwing him down to the turf. The Shark with the extra point. It's up and good. Baltimore 42, DC 10. That would be a high-scoring final, Gerald. There's still 7:52 to go in quarter number 3. The SFL Minor League is about to begin. Games kick off Friday, October 14th. That's only a week away, not even, on SFL YouTube. And it's not too late to create your player and get him or her involved in the next rookie class. Season 20's rookie draft will take place on December 17th and 18th, so don't miss your chance. The sooner you create your player, the better your player will be on draft day. For more information, visit simulationfl.net. DC back out onto the field on offense. It's been a little while since they've found the end zone. They scored on their first possession of the second quarter. It was a 5-play, 78-yard drive. They were able to get into the end zone with a rushing touchdown and have not scored since. They had a punt and a pick. Now this from Kevin Say. He's able to get the first down and more. Keeps breaking tackles, and he's off to the races. One man to beat. He is going to go all the way to the end zone. DC touchdown from the 22-yard line. He just surges forward for 78 yards.
Kevin Say says, you know what? Hey, just give me the ball. I can make us a play, and they do it right off the bat. Give him the ball, and he runs 78 yards. And this is how you're going to have to get yourself back in the game. Right here, right? The offense is going to have to put up points. It's like, hey, the defense can't stop him right now. So we're gonna just hand you the ball and see what you can do. And he made it happen. And he's been like their bright spot for their team. He's only had 7 carries and 126 yards.
Right.
Like and 2 touchdowns.
Yeah.
So he is solely responsible for their 2 touchdowns right now. So I mean, and that's a guy you just have to feed at this point, right? I mean, if you want to get back in the game, he's like the, I don't know, is there a Hail Mary handoff? Is that a thing?
Yeah, I think you just saw it. I think that was the Hail Mary handoff right there. Yeah, Kevin Say solely responsible for most of the production on the offense. Lauren Percoco, second most receiving yards right now on the most receiving yards for the DC offense, was second most offensive yards, I should say, 4 receptions, 66 yards. Otherwise, it's about 30 or less for everybody else that's gotten involved. So, Gerald, we've seen DC win a couple of times without Kevin Say in the lineup, but tonight I think they're going to need Kevin. They're going to need to lean on Kevin Say to try to get back in this one. But the problem is, like, they can't stop Baltimore. The defense has to do something now. Kevin Say could score every time he touches the ball from here on out, and they could still lose. They also need to get these special team plays in check as well, as this returns up to the 30.
And now it makes sense why Ivory Irvin can just straight truck a defender, because he's just trucking defenders right here. But the defense has to tighten up, man. They have to do something. I mean, they had 3 golden opportunities to be able to pick the ball off and kind of flip it around.
Yeah.
And they just let it fall out of their hands, and that's really huge. I mean, you take away if you think about it this way, take away 21 points off of that, it's a 1-score game at 21-17. If even that's how you can do it. The game flow would have been a lot different, but it just on paper, if you do it, that's 3 drives you could have killed right there, but they just haven't been able to do it.
T-Roy gained 73 yards now on the day. And Gerald, one thing that's going to come with, this massive lead that Baltimore has as well is there's going to be less and less opportunities for the DC defense to get an interception because they're just going to keep running. And when they keep making mistakes, too, that's not going to help. Another offsides penalty. It's at least the second one that we've seen from the Dragons tonight. And that free play, this time the penalty will be accepted.
Yeah, and it's gonna be second and short, and it's right up where Baltimore's. Are they not gonna pick up 2 yards? Have they not picking up 2 yards today?
Right. Yeah.
It's not even a proper not.
It is tonight. Yeah. Normally no, I don't think so. But Warren Murray's he's only averaging 2 yards per carry, Gerald. But you could always hand it off to T-Roy Gaines on his 9 carries. He's averaged 8 yards, due in large part to the 48-yarder. But yeah, this is something, 2nd and 3, they should be able to convert. But the DC defense, they're not done. They're going to keep on playing. Nathaniel Diggs getting into the backfield along with Saeed Gore.
Why do I have the distinct feeling like Baltimore has that gets tackled for a loss?
Yeah.
And they say, we're good. We got them right where we want them.
Yeah, it's fine. 3rd down and 5, that's okay. It's actually, third. I'd rather have a 3rd down and 5 than a 3rd down and 3. Why? Because Baltimore. Wigmore to throw. Pressure.
There it is.
Finally getting the sack. Bringing him down in the backfield. And getting that sack, the DC defense. Rob Slaughter.
Look at that neck board, man.
Well, that's what helps propel him. Matt always loved the neck roll. A neck roll or a neck board. He even thought that tight ends should have them. It was weird. It was something that we never could agree on. I always loved the neck roll. He liked that old school.
Can you have a neck roll and a neck board? Why not? Just throw them off in there.
Because you wouldn't be able to turn your head. That's why not. We didn't even know that Baltimore had a punter, but apparently Matty Coffin's on to punt for the Vultures. Probably the loneliest man in football.
It's since it's Halloween season, he probably come out of the coffin like, oh, you rang? I
actually got a kick? That's interesting. Well, finally, a Baltimore drive does not end in a touchdown. And that's the only way the Dragons can get back into this ball game. The defense has to prevent pretty much any more scoring from the Vultures.
And give it to Kevin Say.
They do it here. He breaks through one tackle, cannot break through the second. Only gains 2, but you can't give up on it. You got to keep on trying.
I think the best route, because we know Baltimore has some of the best interior defensive linemen across the league. Just the way they've been after quarterbacks all year. So, and they're pretty good at that. I do believe they're 1 or 2 in defense. In rush defense, so run up the middle just isn't anything that I think is going to be successful. You got to run, you got to run outside the hashes on them.
Nice pass from Synergy over the middle to Josh Gill, the 4-season vet, gets the catch, moves the chains into Baltimore territory.
And oddly, given the score, it could be just me, but it seems like DC seems a little bit more relaxed and not tense and forcing anything. Right now, especially on offense and even on defense, right? They're playing a little bit looser, not trying to, overdo anything or anything like that. But, hey, if they playing loose, then it's one of these deals that I think gives them definitely an advantage.
1st down and 10 from the 47.
There it is.
Kevin Say getting a little bit caught up, jukes and gets the 1st down, gets up to the 34-yard line. And moves the chains.
Oh, man, I get following those blockers, man. But, shoot, man, he may have had another big, huge run had he not got caught up behind this guy right there. Josh Gill had his guy blocked, and he just kind of could have just made a little bit of a sidestep to his right a little bit earlier. I think he could have been off to the races.
1st down and 10, 4 minutes to go here in the 3rd quarter. Four receiver set. Synergy. Delayed handoff to Say. That one good for a gain of 3. He's averaging 14.8 per carry. It's, thanks to a couple of long runs. But, great. That's what they need. Keep handing it to Say, keep getting those long runs.
Yeah, and I don't know. I mean, look, and Baltimore's an interesting team to prepare for, right? I mean, it seems like they excel and is near perfection at everything. So, and maybe maybe DC's scheme offensively, right, didn't have a whole lot of say involved in it, and maybe that's how it was being successful. They thought they'd be successful coming into the game, but the success has been with I don't know what he saw. I saw white.
Right. I don't know.
And there was one black jersey right there.
I saw Frank Smith. Synergy, 16 to 24, 179 yards. It's under 70% completions. He's got no touchdowns, 2 picks, 54 quarterback rating. He's got to take care of that football. They're down in 7, tipped and incomplete. So they're in field goal range. I guess a field goal doesn't hurt. It brings it back down to a 3-score ball game. It's currently a 4-score ball game, so anything helps.
But all right, you kick the field goal, it gets you within 3 scores, but it's only good to get you in 3 scores if you plan on going for 2 points at least twice.
Right.
And I just know that they may not.
Well,
I don't know.
Cross that bridge when we come to it, I guess. 47-yard field goal try from the right hash. The kick on its way from Pautee, and it is good. Brings DC up to 20. So they're down by 22 points. So they need 3 touchdowns. Only one of them needs to be a two-point conversion for them to tie. So we'll see. We'll see what they can do. First things first, once again, the Dragons got a stop on defense the last time Baltimore was out there on offense. They're going to need to do it again and again and again. The final week of the SFL regular season continues tomorrow, and you can catch all the drama of the most critical games to the playoff picture at 8:45 p.m. Eastern Time when Sioux Falls battles Tulsa in the Central Division on Next Level Sports, plus live look-ins on Lone Star, Mexico City. For a channel guide and more information about Next Level Sports, visit nlse.com. Wigmore and the Baltimore offense will start out from their own 26-yard line. Wigmore, 19 to 25. He's just shy of the 300-yard mark, Gerald. 4 touchdowns. Quarterback rating of 154.2. That's not perfect. So a man that's got 300 passing yards and 4 touchdowns is not perfect. What more does the guy got to do?
It's perfect. The formula is wrong.
The formula is bugged.
Oh.
There goes T-Roy Gaines. T-Roy Gaines trying to relive his youth here tonight. 85 yards on the day.
I don't know. I mean, he had that big long run earlier. I don't know what they gave him for oxygen after that, because he's been pretty.
Let him go.
Every time he's gotten the ball,
stiff arm and air.
It seems like he's. I mean, like I said, he did have that long run, but I mean, he's still been really efficient minus that run. They give him the ball. He's getting positive yardage out of it all. Oh, and another thing I know is, hey, if you took the over, congratulations.
Yeah, we've already hit that. 2 minutes, 30 seconds to go in quarter number 3. Pass out to Warren Murray. Murray able to gain 9. That's what he's been doing in this receiving game all night, Gerald. He's got over 100 yards receiving, 3 touchdowns receiving. He hasn't been used much in the running game. That's been T-Roy Gaines' responsibility. But in the passing game, Warren Murray, that's been the go-to target. Leads the team in receiving yards.
Right, and if you're looking to stop a guy like that, I mean, you kind of have to keep your corners playing, somewhat shallow areas there to be able to be ready for that stuff that comes out like that.
Murray takes the handoff, and this is why they've been relying on T-Roy Gaines. All kidding aside, though, 3rd down and inches, a huge, huge opportunity for the DC Dragons. They need this stop. They need it bad.
Yeah, and I would, if I was advising them on the defense, I'd say, hey, you guys need to play the flats here, right? The defensive line has been playing tough out the middle no matter who runs it, right? So, hey, look at the flats here from the corners and the linebackers just to stay short.
Hands it off to Warren Murray, meets him in the backfield and gets the tackle for a loss. Nathaniel Diggs with a huge play. And once again, back-to-back drives, the DC defense able to stop Baltimore. This could still be a ball game.
Yeah, and there's still a lot of time left, right? With it being a 3-score game and only 22 points, if they can go down, I would feel really confident in DC's chances that they can go down on this drive right here and get a touchdown.
Low snap to Matty Coffins. He gets it away. Punt taken back at the 15 up to the 19. 81 yards away from the end zone. They don't want to have to settle for another field goal on this drive. There's just, quite frankly, not enough drives left in the ballgame to be settling for 3 at this point.
Well, at some point, I think Baltimore is going to, if once DC starts closing this gap, if they close this gap, I think Baltimore's play calling may change, and it might not be so much into the run mode anymore, especially with Murray, because they haven't been too successful. They're going to start throwing it more.
That opens up more opportunities for the Dragons. Kevin Say able to gain 5. He's been doing good. We mentioned it. A lot of it's been that long run that he had 78 yards on one run. That accounts for about half of that 137. But that's what they need to keep doing. Keep feeding the Say. 3 receiver set, deep drop, and a little pass interference on the play that wasn't called. Percoco getting shoved, Gerald.
Oh, they mugged the poor lady. Like, come on.
I mean, that looked pretty obvious to me. But
let me get my feather pen and my wax seal, because I'm going to send something to the league.
Strongly worded letter.
Strongly. It'll be in caps.
All caps. Maybe even bold, like scribble over some of the letters.
I'll use a Sharpie after I use a pen.
Absolutely. Synergy. Quick pass. Nice quick one there. Gets the first down up to the 40-yard line. Connecting once again with Josh Gill.
And he was in double coverage, and he was able to beat both defenders on that play and find the space. So if he hadn't tripped, man, he could have been still running.
Yeah. That was the only part I didn't like about that is, he had to go down to the ground when he made that catch.
Because look, there's white, Baltimore, the referees kind of wear white. Maybe he thought there was a guy. Let me go down before he gets smashed.
Is he under pressure and sacked? Frank Smith getting into the backfield. The linebackers getting involved on the pass rush.
The offensive lineman saw him too late. The guard saw him way too late coming in. It was somewhat of a delayed blitz, and he came in there, was wide open, and made the sack.
That is the end of the third quarter. 3 in the books. 1 remains here in our nation's capital. Vultures 42, Dragons 20. You're watching the Simulation Football League presented by APM Music.
And surprising, Frank Smith has got 4.5 sacks on the season now. You typically don't see any linebackers have those kind of sack stats, but they're doing it greatly.
Yeah, we talked about earlier how this defensive line's responsible for most of them, but Frank Smith, he's other than the 4 defensive linemen, leads the team in sacks now with 4.5. Third down and 11 after that play. I'm Mike Daggs. He's Gerald Smith. Justin Reside and Zach Holdorf with us on stats. Cameron Irvine, our producer. 5 wide on third down.
Wide receivers got to find some separation here.
Press coverage on the outside. Synergy steps up. Pressure coming. Sacked once again. Loss of 5 on the play. And Gerald, I was going to ask you if it's 4 down territory already, but at 4th and 16 at your own 34-yard line, I'd say probably not.
Well, the way your defense has been playing lately for DC, it's not a bad thing to punt here, but you're running out of opportunities. So you're going to have to make a conscious decision as a coach on whether, hey, look, are we going to just try and win this game by going for it on 4th down in some of these situations, or are we just going to just keep punting it back to the opponent and just hope that something fortunate falls on our hands? Look, and this is just me, right? I don't know if I would really just totally depend on the defense to make plays. They've had opportunities in the first half to be able to make plays and pick balls off, and they haven't been able to do it.
They'll have to rise to the occasion. Wigmore pumps, checks it down to Warren Murray. He'll go out of bounds. They'll say that it was incomplete. 2nd down and 10. APM Music is unrivaled music to bring your stories to life, inspiring every production with the world's most robust and constantly refreshed music collection with state-of-the-art technology and world-class customer service. APM Music is the official soundtrack of the Simulation Football League. To explore their library and find the perfect track for your projects, visit apmmusic.com. 2nd down and 10. Leroy Gaines stopped at the line, and Gerald, you mentioned how good the DC defense has been playing these last couple of possessions. It looks like they picked up right where they left off, but a big test coming up now on 3rd down.
Yeah, if they can continue to do this right and force a 3 and out right, it gives their offense a better chance to be able to, put something together. But I'm just not. It looks like some man coverage here. I'm just not a fan of that right now. They've been getting separation in these coverages.
Wigmore deep down the left side, picked off. A turnover by the DC defense, and they bring it back to the 43-yard line. Gerald, I saw the receiver with a step on the defender, but the safety comes in and saves the day. Jorge Torres with the pick.
Yeah, Torres was wide, eyeing up Wigmore the whole time, and no sooner he threw that pass, he knew exactly where he was going, and good for the corner, right? The corner played it. He knew he had safety help deep. He's like, hey, I'm going to play it short if something happens here. He shoots on some sort of out route, slant route, or whatever, knowing he had safety help back there. And for once, they'll finally be able to take that opportunity to pick a ball off and put themselves in very good position in Baltimore territory. But at this point in the game, now it is 4-down territory.
I would agree.
From here on out.
And a free play for the Dragons finally, as Baltimore, the tide seems to have shifted towards DC. DC was making mistakes earlier on in the ball game and couldn't stop Baltimore. Now they've stopped them on the last 3 possessions, and the Vultures are the ones jumping off sides.
Yeah, and they have to they need to score in a hurry, in my opinion.
Yeah, they do.
They just have to, right? And I mean, if it's with Say scoring extremely fast off of a run and everything else, right? Because he's been by far, one of their most successful, players this game, and he's kind of on fire when you hand him the ball.
High formation on 1st down and 5, and Say is able to roll forward for a gain of 3. So I don't think they should abandon the run game, Gerald, because that's what's been the most successful for them tonight. But, these heavy set runs up the middle, they need to go for some of the bigger outside runs, or maybe even try, pulling a Baltimore impersonation off and throwing some string routes or something.
Yeah, they're the most success they have is running on the edge. Look at that.
I mean, a good gain there. They got the 1st down.
It's just wasting too much clock at this point, especially 3 scores down, right? If you want to go for like a splash play, set it up and run to the outside, because that's where Kevin Say has been his most successful this game, is run to the outside. And if you want to throw them off, because look, hey, Baltimore knows, hey, if you come out in a big heavy set like that, they're going to stack the box, because I don't think they've ran outside run when they come out in heavy sets like that.
Synergy steps up, pressure right in his face, and somehow Kevin Say gets the catch and the 1st down. Wow.
That was literally like right in between 2 defenders. I want a replay on that. Cam Q to replay. Hit the replay. Darn it.
Yeah.
Like that. Oh, man. Like it was,
that deserved a replay.
It went right in between those 2 defenders, and I thought it was a pick. He threw it.
Yeah, I did too. We called Wigmore a magician earlier on in the ball game. I think Synergy just took away his magical powers, because that was an impressive throw. Kevin Say with the catch. Synergy to throw again. This time, I guess Westlake just kind of looked a little lost. Was not expecting that pass, Gerald.
You can't catch it with your back, youngster. You gotta turn around and grab it with your hands.
Yes. Use those appendages at the end of your arms. 2nd down and 10. 7:45 left in the game. 2 receivers out to the left. Ball is handed off to Say. And Say is only able to gain 3 yards on the play. 3rd down and 7.
See, and that's more. Look, it didn't go for nothing, but hey, 3 yards. But that's more of what I would look for Say to be able to do. But I think you'd also need to have some, give them some help on that end, right? Because they're playing zone off of, the defense there from Baltimore. The linebackers and cornerbacks are going to be rating right there in the flash to be able to pick them up.
Synergy pressure once again. Is that Frank Smith for a second time? I believe it is. Smith with another sack. The linebacker blitz getting home.
He has a knack for finding the space in the line. Look at him. He just weaved around, and Kevin Say was like, I think he's somewhere, and he just completely, he's like, I see him. It's too late.
Yep. There's Frank.
Yeah.
He's laying on Sabaj.
He could have jumped out and cut him at the ankles or something.
Frank Smith, 1.5 sacks on the day. I'd make that 2.5 sacks on the day. 3 tackles for a loss, a pass deflection, 5 total tackles, 40-yard field goal try coming up from Pautee. So really all this possession is going to end up doing for him, Gerald, is that 2-point conversion that we talked about is no longer needed, but they still need 3 touchdowns.
Yeah, it's
too late.
Yeah, I mean, they're down 19 points, right? It's no, I mean they can 19 points. That's 2 touchdowns and 2-point conversions with a field goal to tie, and that's still 3-possession game. I mean, there's 6.5 minutes left. You have to go for that.
Yeah, I agree. Does your team have 6 wins or more this season? Then you still have the chance to make the playoffs. Sorry, sir. What are those chances? What are the potential first-round matchups? Who will you be cheering for on the league's final day of the regular season? Join the commissioner, Cameron Irvine, and his scenario show crew tonight at 11:15 p.m. Eastern Time for a breakdown of all the remaining 16 playoff scenarios live on the SFL's YouTube channel. Don't look so sad.
You chuckle as if this is some... it's the enjoyment and that.
I'm so sorry.
And you're looking at me the entire time you're reading that read. So I still love you.
Oh, I feel bad. I don't know why I'm laughing. I just have a black heart deep within my chest. Another free play as the defensive line for the Dragons jumps off sides once again. And that's just going to cost them more time off the clock. 1st down and 5 after the Vultures accept the penalty.
Yeah, they've just been struggling, right? I mean, all the field goals that they have gotten this game in DC, it just when you're in a sense trading, field goals for touchdowns by your opponent, it's not, it's really most times are not going to equal any success at all.
Wigmore to Murray, well defended. Tackled behind the line of scrimmage. Declan O'Rourke getting involved on the TFL game. 2nd down and 7.
And that's the type of flat coverage, right? I've been wanting DC to kind of come out with once Warren Murray started kind of going off in the swing route and screen game.
2nd down and 7 turns into a 3rd down and 4. T-Roy Gaines with a gain of 3. 42 points scored on their first 6 drives, 0 on the last 4. But like we said, Gerald, I think it might be too little too late. Approaching the 5-minute mark, DC, their last 2 drives, they went for field goals.
Yeah, it feels like it really feels like Baltimore just kind of put it in cruise control here, and it's just, feeling comfortable about where they're at, right? And the entire second half, I mean, they've only scored 1 touchdown.
And they get another 1st down. That's going to bleed at least a couple more minutes off the clock, get us down closer to the 3-minute mark. 1st down and 10 for Baltimore. And this is why Baltimore's got 10 wins, and they're going for their 11th here on the season, Gerald. They're a very difficult team to beat.
Yeah, and look, I mean, they're not back-to-back champs for nothing here. I mean, they know what they're doing, and they know how to prep for each team every week.
I formation on 1st down. Ball is handed off to Murray. A gain of 4. 2nd down and 6. Like I said earlier on, Gerald, Baltimore, they went 10-2 last season and 11-1 the season before. So hoping to be able to get to 11-1 again on the season. And I mean, when they've been able to go 11-1 and 10-2, they end up going to the championship and winning it. So that's what it's all about for them.
Yeah, I know. I know the route that the championship doesn't run through Baltimore this season, but it seems to be running through London. But the way they play, whether it's home or away, I mean they're an extremely tough opponent, and they're by far, one of the most consistent teams. Going for their third championship here. And having that first round bye, being a number 2 seed locked in, and this game didn't really mean much for them. I mean, but it seemed like they just prepped and came out and just wanted to refine their craft and show them that, hey, look, we're the back-to-back defending champions for a reason. It doesn't matter who's in front of us or what's at stake. We're still going to come down and take care of business.
60% of the games that Baltimore plays on the road, they have won. That is best in the league. 34 away wins compared to only 23 away losses. 3rd down and 7 will not be converted, and DC will get the ball back. But like I had predicted, Gerald, we're down to the 3-minute mark, and the clock continues to roll.
Yeah, and DC seems kind of content to just allow this clock to just tick away, because they've known, hey, look, at this point you were almost at 2.5 minutes left in the game. And there's a point in calling timeouts. Can they get 3 scores? I mean, we just seen the team score just the game before score, 2 touchdowns in like a darn minute and a half, and win the game on a 3 scores.
Yeah,
and win the game on a field goal there. So,
Gerald, I think they just ran into the punter.
Can't be.
4th down and 4.
That's a hold.
We'll see what the penalty was. And it's a clipping call. Illegal block in the back being called.
Push him back.
Against the Vultures. The Dragons will accept, and I believe we'll see a re-kick.
So who clipped here? Oh.
Nah, I don't know. I didn't see it. I seldom do.
No, it's just throwing him a bone. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think that the replay camera knew.
I think they just wanted to see this guy just run and shred his stuff. Watch this guy. He's so fast. He's determined to cover that kick.
4th and 22. Coffins standing back at his own 8. Clean kick this time. Comes down at the 39-yard line. Oh, gosh. He's leveled up at the 42. 2 minutes, 8 seconds to go. They're down by 19 points.
Right. And look, here comes the Baltimore feels really secure here. It looks like they got some of their, lesser known players in on the field.
Either way, both teams in the playoffs. A great season by Baltimore, great season by DC. First round bye would have certainly been helpful, but it's not an end-all. Pass by Synergy over the middle is incomplete. 2nd down and 10.
And look, and Yates is still in there. He's like, I'll play with the backups. I don't care. I'm hungry. I need I don't know how many sacks he's got on the season. No, I don't think he leads the team, or does he? Lead the team in sacks, but I think he wants to beef up his numbers before the playoffs. Oh yeah, he leads the team. He's like, I need to get that way higher.
Yeah, he came into the day with 11 on the season. He got another one earlier on. Flag on the play. There's another underthrown pass by Synergy. Gerald, once again, he had a receiver open downfield. It's actually the same receiver, Churchill, getting past the defender again, and the pass is just not far enough.
I think this might be holding Baltimore.
And it is indeed holding, called on Giovanni Bolts. That'll bring us to the 2-minute warning. Here in a lopsided ball game, Baltimore out in front by 3 scores, 42-23. Two minutes to go here from DC. 2 receivers to either side of the set. Synergy over the middle. Able to find Josh Gill. They'll go into the hurry up.
Yeah, I think it's a little bit too late for the hurry up here. They should have done that with like 6 minutes to go.
Or at minimum 4. Oh, throwing it straight into the hands of the Vulture. Synergy 19 of 31, 214 yards, 2 picks. Has not yet found the end zone through the air. Kevin Say's been able to get it a couple of times on the ground. That's it.
And look, and look, if you're trying to score, I mean, and you know, and your opponent has the backups in there, I mean, you need to take some deeper routes there. I mean, all slants is not going to do you much anything because you're throwing right into trench because those guys are nowhere near as fast as the starters out there, right? You want to get yourself a chance. I mean, you got to drop back and you got to throw something deep.
5 wide receivers to see if Synergy goes for something deeper here. Minute 44 to go. Synergy does indeed go a little bit deeper. Finally is able to connect with Churchill, who got behind the defense again.
And if you would have gave him another second or two, I think it's a touchdown.
Churchill's open again at the top. They'll go across the middle and just shy of the end zone, tackled at the 1-yard line. First down and goal. And Synergy throws end zone touchdown. So step 1 complete. Step 2, onside kick. Step 3, they need another touchdown. Step 4 will be another onside kick. Step 5, another touchdown. So it's not over.
All right, they got to go for it. What they can actually go for 2 points here.
I don't think they're going to do that until they need to. I know they need to. I know they need the points, but I don't think they would do that unless like the 2 points would actually get them the tie or get them the.
Yeah, but they were down 19 points, right? I mean, they do 2 points, and then a field goal to tie.
Extra point is up and good. DC now down by 12. We'll see the extra point try coming up.
So it's going to be an onside kick, and
that's what I meant.
Yeah,
onside kick coming up.
You can give him another point. I don't think it'll matter.
Just spot him a point. Pawty has the ball teed up for the onside kick. Right into the hands of the Vultures. Marvin Himes getting the recovery. So DC still has all 3 timeouts. If they can keep them out of field goal range, there's a chance they could get the ball back with about 45 seconds left potentially. If they get a first down, it's all but over at this point.
Yeah, and look at this. It's a 2-score game, and they still have their backups. And I don't quite. I mean, they have their starters back in there, and I don't know.
Yeah, I'm not sure if the backups even came in on the last series, Gerald. I say still
defensively, they were up 3 scores. So yeah,
right,
defensively they were in. I mean, they didn't have the starters out there. They didn't have the starters out there. Well, at least a full core starters anyway. They didn't have out there, but but hey, when you close the gap, I mean, you want your guys in there to be able to close this game out. And they said, look, hey, we're not giving them any shot. They're probably watching the game prior to this one. Say, hey, we're not doing that. We're not playing those games. So we're gonna make sure our guys are out there to make the plays we need to just 100% seal this deal.
Murray able to get up to the 32-yard line, well within Shark Tarkington range. 3rd down and 4. So currently a 12-point game. Could turn into a 15-point game if they don't lose any yards and don't get the first. As DC has burned their second timeout. And they will throw behind the line of scrimmage, gets back to the line, and is able to gain a couple. So final timeout is called. 4th down and 2 from the 30. A 47-yard field goal try on its way. Shark Tarkington jogging out onto the field with no helmet. He'll have to turn around and go back and get that. So he can't play with no helmet.
Yeah, I mean, he's hardcore, man. He's like one of them hardcore swamp boys.
Yeah.
I don't think it's from the swamp. Sharks are not in swamps.
No, that's more of like a coastal thing. Oceans. 47 yards from the right hash to give the Vultures a 15-point lead. Kick is on its way. And it is good. 45-30. The Vultures out in front. So DC will get the ball back. Currently 54 seconds left in regulation. So they get the ball back with a little bit more time than I thought, only 9 seconds more. So they'll have to score quick.
The best case scenario for them, I do think, because they haven't really pushed the ball down the field all game, so I'm not exactly sure what they're going to come out with, but would be to run this back, and give themselves the best possible chance. That's obviously not going to happen.
No, it's not. Tackled at the 23, 49 seconds to go. So it falls now on Synergy, who's 23 of 36. He's got 266 yards. Finally found the end zone for a touchdown. Thrown 2 picks, but those 2 picks were a while ago, Gerald. He's kept it clean for the last few drives. 3 wide receivers set. Tight end in the formation. Kevin Say in the backfield. Good personnel to get something going. Oh, nice block by Percoco. Gives Say some room to run, and getting out of bounds at the 47. That's a good way to get the drive started in Baltimore territory after 1 catch and run.
Yeah, and they got out of bounds. That's a good way to save the clock, right? I mean, you get that good first down play, and now you're in Baltimore territory. So you're kind of closing the gap there. So if you can get down and get yourself a touchdown here, and somehow come away with you got to score quick, right?
Right.
And play the sidelines too. I mean, you can't throw a whole lot in the middle because you're just running yourself out of clock.
You don't want to score and leave your team, the only chance they have is getting a Hail Mary right off the bat. Synergy, lucky to even get that one away. Pressure right there once again. If he had been sacked, that would have burned a ton of time off the clock. Stops with 37 seconds to go, second down.
Yeah, but his better route, his better guy would have been Churchill running off the edge over there too, because he was open instead of throwing it in the coverage. Churchill was running that corner route to the sideline, which was a better option. Threw it to him, and he could have got straight out of bounds.
3-man bunch down to the bottom. Percoco up top gets the catch, gets 6 yards, gets out of bounds. 3rd down and 4.
Yeah, I'd like them to see a little bit of a deeper route, be able to get there some deep outs or something like that, because the Baltimore defense, look, and they're still playing aggressive, surprisingly, right? And they have their starters still in here, with this 15-point lead as well. So, they're trying to keep them out of the end zone because they don't want no shenanigans.
3rd down and 4. 5 wide set. Synergy over the middle. Incomplete. Frank Smith, the man of the hour, with 2.5 sacks. Multiple tackles for a loss. Pass deflections. Why don't we add those into the mix? 4th down and 4, and this will be the ball game if they cannot convert.
Yeah, Frank Smith said, I want to add that at INT. Almost had it, but
that would have possibly given him player of the game. I mean, probably not. But
I don't know, man. Wigmore's going nuts.
He would have got my vote. I don't get a vote, but he would have got my vote.
Synergy.
Throws down towards the end zone. That one is caught. 1st down and 10 from the 13.
And that's what they've been having to do like this whole drive. Right now that they're running out of time, they want to do the deep routes, but this is it.
Clock is spiked with 15 seconds to go. 2nd down. So they'll get a couple shots at the end zone at most before they would need to try the onside kick. But at this point, Gerald, even if they score on this next play and get the onside kick, it'll be a Hail Mary situation.
Right. It's not. I mean, they have to get. I mean, they're going to have to score on this play. I believe, because it's going to be roughly 4 to 5 second play. What they got right here, they got us to score.
It's going to take too much time off the clock. 10 seconds to go.
And I don't know if it's going to get back to the line in time.
3rd down and 4. Synergy snaps the ball, spikes it with 1 second remaining. So that is the ball game, Gerald. It really doesn't matter what happens on this 4th down play. It'll be the final play of the ball game either way, and Baltimore will come away with the victory, 45-0. That's the only blank we have left to fill is what's the something? Is it going to be 30?
And they're booing. Why are they booing like right now? I don't understand.
Well, because they know it's the last play.
I mean, maybe.
Barring a defensive penalty.
If they score, they get the PAT, bro.
I think this would be a walk-off touchdown. I don't even know if they'd give him that. Guess we'll find out. Synergy throws towards the end zone, and it is incomplete.
Wow.
So, final score in this one, Baltimore 45, DC 30. As we see the final stats and highlights in this one, Gerald, it was all Baltimore at the beginning and all Baltimore all the way through. DC fighting to come back in this one, but unable to capitalize off of it. They will fall to the Vultures 45-30. Second loss to the Vultures this season. Your final thoughts on the game?
The defense of Baltimore put pressure on Synergy all night. They ended up with 4 sacks on the day, and it caused them to struggle. And they didn't. And early on, I felt like Kevin Say could have been something they could have used to help maybe propel their offense and keep them in the game. But the defense of Baltimore, the defense of DC during the first half and for the very beginning of third quarter couldn't stop Baltimore at all. They had 6 straight drives of touchdowns.
Yeah.
And when you're allowing 6 touchdowns in a row and your offense just, ask any offense to keep up. It's going to be extremely difficult.
Right.
It's just something that's very difficult to do. But when you're giving up that type of scoring on offense, especially right at the beginning of the game, you kind of put yourself in a tough situation to win that game. And the defense had opportunities to come away and kill drives with some interceptions that they just dropped, and they just couldn't hold on to them and kill those drives. So, hey, credit to Baltimore. They came in and and they had nothing to gain, nothing to lose. But they came in and executed, and they showed the league why they have been one of the best teams in the league. But hey, DC's got to figure out what's been wrong the last 3 weeks. They've now lost 3 games in a row. Going into the playoffs, and that's got to be concerning not only for the coaches and the players, but their dedicated fan base as well. So and they're going to go in. It seems like they may have a home game. We're going to see how the rest of the games of the week play out, but. Hey, they got to come back in, especially if they're playing at home, come back in and show their fans like, hey, look, we still got the right stuff once the playoffs come.
Baltimore will improve to 11-1 on the season. DC will fall to 8-4, losing their last 3 in a row. They lost in the opener to Baltimore and then went on a nice winning streak, losing the last 2 by 1 score on the final play of the game. This one was all Baltimore the entire time. Still a good season for them. Coming up tomorrow on October 9th, 4 more games to decide the final fate of the ball game, or of the season, and how teams will play out. Our player of the game, Warren Murray, with his 147-yard all-purpose performance, multiple touchdowns for him. This has been a presentation of the Simulation Football League, presented by APM Music on YouTube. Final score, Baltimore 45, DC 30. For Gerald Smith, Justin Reside, Zach Huldorf, Cameron Irvine, and Matt Wilson, who will always be with me in spirit. I am Mike Dagg saying thank you for joining us. Be kind to one another. Always choose happy. Have a great night, everybody.